Hi everyone, this is Bruno Souza here for one more episode of the Code for Life tour around Europe. We're doing the Java Europe tour, where we are traveling all around Europe. We've been to Germany, we've been to Switzerland, and we're now here in Spain. And it's a in every place that we stop, we have been talking with cool Java developers and developers and infrastructure guy and Java champions and rock stars from the developer world to talk about cool stuff for you. That's our developer, and let's just kind of say hello. If you can just quickly tell us in the chat, there should be a chat to your left. If you could quickly say, is the sound working? Just say hello, just so you know, because it's going. This is such a crazy trip. We've done interviews with the microphone off. We've done interviews with the camera disconnected. It's been it's been a crazy thing. The longer the trip lasts, the more crazy we are, right? So hello Max, hello Cesar. I can see you guys right there. Thanks a lot for joining us. Sorry, just today we're a little bit late because, just because, right? We got network problems. We got delay in the morning. We got all kinds of craziness here. That's why we had to do an hour later. Might be good for some of you, might be bad for some of you, but that's, at least everything is recorded. So I'm here with my good friend Ihor. So Ihor actually... Kolodyuk?
That's right.
Kolodyuk.
So you're the first who pronounced this correctly for the last 5 days, it seems.
Okay, so Ihor Kolodyuk, and actually he has Duke in his name, right? So this
some relation to Java.
Yes, some relation to Java word, right? Okay, so and we are here, guys. We are in this amazing place. We are in Spain, in a city called Rincón de la Victoria, and this basically means the place of victory, I think. And let me just I'll get the camera here for a minute, just kind of show you guys. We're here right here in a nice place, and there is there's a pool right there. There's like sun, and you can't really see, but behind those trees out in the back there's a sea. So you're like 5 minutes away from the beach. It's a pretty neat place, and that's the place where Ihor works from. And so we are here here in Malaga. It's where the offices of this cool company called Jelastic it's located. And so we're spending a couple of days here talking with Ruslan, is the CEO of Jelastic. Ihor is the CTO of Jelastic. So hi Ihor, how are you doing?
Hi Bruno, just fine. So we are trying to apply our knowledge on containers, on Java, on DevOps, on everything. On practice, we're trying to build complex pipelines right here. We're trying to create new ideas, new technology right here. So it's the best place for creating technology, and so far away from all the stress, from all the loud sound, from the big cities. So just a silent place near the sea just helps to be alone with your mind, and with a team to do good things right here.
That's pretty cool. So we're going to talk a little bit here today about developers, about containers, about career, and Ihor, you're going to tell us a little bit about how it is to live in such a nice place and work with Java and other cool technologies. So as usual, this whole purpose here is that we can get you to talk with nice people in the Java land. So please send your questions. The idea here today is that we're going to talk about containers. I think that's one of the hottest topics all around. So we just went to this past couple of days. We were here in the J on the Beach event that's happening in Malaga. And J on the Beach, we had lots of talks about Docker, lots of talks about containers, lots of talks about DevOps. So all of this has a lot to do about containers. So if you're doing any of those things, please send us our questions. The idea here is that we're going to answer, help you improve your career by understanding those technologies. So Ihor, I'm going to start right with a really basic question, just kind of get the ball rolling. So what exactly are containers? I mean, you know, we all know about virtual machines and virtualization, cloud computing. We've learned about those things, but lately there's all this discussion about containers and how important containers are. You know, are containers the same thing as virtual machines? Can containers run in the cloud?
Absolutely
Can
not.
you know what? No, containers can't run in the cloud.
Oh no, I mean about
Okay.
about virtual machine.
Right. So what are containers then?
So it's a technology that gives ability to isolate process and isolate resources for this process and make your process to be flexible. So with the help of this, you can do many cool things with your process. So actually, container is everything about process or about set of processes and how can they be isolated from each other and actually have extra layer of flexibility that gives ability to, for example, migrate process from one server to another server, or to take all the dependencies that you need to run your application. So you know, one single entity that actually itself a container. So the containers we are used to work, it's Linux containers. So you know, there are many other containers, like in the FreeBSD world there are FreeBSD jails. In Solaris world, there are Solaris zones, and there are Wagner containers. There are many kind of different containers. So we are working with usual Linux containers, Linux kernel containers, and we do all the stuff about that. So containers is not a super new technology. So that was developed many years ago, for 15 years ago already, but only last few years that become only a trend. And we in Gelastic are working with containers from 2011 very tightly. So we exactly know how to use these, how to use this in production. So we are running containers in production for very long.
Okay. So let's kind of first get really clear what these containers things are, so people kind of really get the idea. So basically, you're saying that you get like a process and you encapsulate in this container, right? So what exactly means when you get the process encapsulated inside the container? So the container helps you like control the process. What exactly it is?
I will try to explain different words. So for example, you need to go to a space, and you need to survive in this actual environment, which is not very friendly to you, because space is not friendly to a human. And you have an option.
So when you say space, it's not like a space in the computer, like space.
No,
really,
I mean really deep
right?
space.
Okay, deep space, right?
Yeah.
So we're gonna do rocket science here in a minute.
Yeah,
okay.
we do it.
Yes, cool. All right.
So you have an option. You can just put a special suit, which can be a container, and this suit, spacesuit, will give you all your actually things that you need to survive. So an air, temperature conditions, I don't know, light, so everything that you need to survive. Or another option, you can take a big ship, which is actually the ship with a size like this flat, and you can be also in a space. And the one thing is super tight and super small, and give you only all necessary things. And with the ship, you can have actually bathroom, kitchen, all this stuff on a board. So something that is from one perspective can be spare thing.
Right. So and so actually in the ship you have lots of people inside the ship.
Yeah.
And in a spacesuit you have just one person inside it.
Yeah, but to survive you need only these.
Right.
So imagine that you are an application, and to run this application you need a set of libraries, set of actually shared things that actually it's everything that is needed for your application to run. But with a virtual machine, you have the whole operating system with all the spare stuff, all the spare data, so you don't need. So that's one case, that you have all necessary actually things to run your application and nothing either.
Right. So basically, if you have a virtual machine, the virtual machine is like the ship.
Yeah.
That you can run many applications on it.
Absolutely.
And so you have all the infrastructure to run many applications. You have many people in the ship. But if you're just one person, all you need is just suit. So all you need is one container.
Absolutely.
So basically, the container is a lot lighter than the ship.
And another analogy is that imagine that there are a couple of us who are just flying inside the ship.
So Max likes the analogy.
Yeah. Yeah. So there are a couple of us, and we are sharing in a ship the same space.
Right.
So imagine that the space inside of the ship, it's a resources, it's a system resources.
Mm-hmm.
And in case if I have only my suit, it's super limited. I can just make it bigger, make it smaller, and no one else will be wearing this suit together with me. So it's my personal space.
Right.
And I can control this space. And in a usual suit, we are limited. So there can be 5 of us, but we cannot be located in the same place together. So we're limited because of this. So limits, and another good point about containers, you can set limit to your process and to your application. And another thing is compatibility. So you can compatibility and transportability. Yeah. So
right.
you can deliver your application very easily and fastly, because if Bruno will ask me to deliver some stuff to the space, it's easy for me just to take her suit, and this suit will take much less space than just to deliver the whole room with all the stuff.
Okay. All right. So yeah. So that's pretty cool. Of course, you know, it's there are advantages and disadvantages. You know, when there's sometimes you need a big ship, sometimes you just need the container. So, but the interesting thing is that as you said, you know, actually you can run many containers inside of his machine also, right?
Yes. I said the same as you can have a lot of space suits inside the
spaceship, right? Okay, so that's pretty cool. So then basically the idea of the container then is that we get an application we put inside a space suit. It has everything it needs to survive. It has everything it needs to communicate with other you know, other application, everything, and then we can easily move it around. We can shut it down. We can start it. We can back it up. We can do all kinds of things with the container. And why? I mean, okay, so it's lighter. I understand that's lighter, but why it's good that I have one application running inside the container? You know, why can't I just have like 10 applications running inside one container? Does it make a difference?
There are many small points on this. So security is number one. So it's not good one application to share the same stuff, which is actually, for example, imagine that someone hacked your application. We are script, we are injection. So that time he access all the data, and actually even more. With the same privileges running this process, you can actually access another process and interrupt this. So just having access to some small and very actually unneeded detail, you can have access to much more bigger thing.
Okay.
And break it at least. So it's something that security number one.
All right.
And
that's pretty cool.
Sharing resources. It's very hard to share resource if it's not limited. So for example, you have web server and database running inside one container, and each time in performance of each component will influence to performance of another component. So that's also the issue.
Right.
And then conflict of dependencies. So for example, you have multiple applications, and each of these applications need special version of libc or special version of network libraries, Python libraries, Perl libraries. So you will always have issues to make them work with each other. It's in the same environment. So that's why your application need to be separate. So application need have its own resources and own data and nothing more. So everything that is spare is not good.
Okay. All right. That's really cool. So and one of the things that, since you can have you know, the containers are smaller and everything, you know, can you actually use better the server that you have? So if you have one server, can you kind of like lots of containers inside it, or it's like one container for each server?
No, containers are very teeny, so it's a good approach to have a lot of containers in one server.
Okay.
And actually, you have live migration, so you can just move them from one server to another server. So it doesn't matter what size of server you have, because your application is abstract. So it's not locked with the server. So it's absolutely abstract. You move it from one server to another server. We can even show you how we can do this, because even today we have a game
No, yeah, we're gonna get to live migration in a minute, but there's some questions around here.
Okay.
So Kevin,
yes, please.
Kevin is asking, but I think Docker containers are not really isolated, are they? Security does not seem like the primary concern for Docker right now. However, I agree very much on the separate library dependence and so on.
Yeah, sure, definitely. Docker are doing very great job with containers. So before them, nobody was using containers so intensively because actually we have very limited amount of tools, and the isolation itself, it was so complex to configure isolation for the resources. You had to know how to manage C groups manually, and even before C groups, it was another component called bean counters that was used by Parallels for isolating resources. So that was rather complex, and Docker provided us a set of tools to make this more easily, to use this more easily. And they are not very they do not care very seriously about security, because there are many issues they have with this. But anyway, they're working on this, so they're trying to improve this. So perhaps maybe you're right. So security is not a priority number one for them. But anyway, it's much more far away than usual chroot we used to. So do you remember years ago we used chroot for isolating process and its resources? So it was a kind of first step for container. It wasn't actually perfect, but that was everything we had that time.
Right.
And now, even with Docker and with all these security issues, we are far, far away from that point, for that starting point we started many years ago. So these 15 years gave very good progress. And last year, it's something amazing, because the progress grown maybe 10 times higher than it was for previous 15 years. So Docker did very good job on this.
Okay, yeah. So basically, we kind of jumped from containers directly to Docker. But so Docker is one type of containers, or is just like an implementation of containers? What exactly is Docker?
I would say that Docker is just an ecosystem and tool set, just a tool set for managing default Linux containers, because they are not only committers to a Linux kernel and to make C groups and namespaces as a part of containerization technology. So there are many good guys who are working on this, and actually Docker is just only an implementation for like a set tool set for run C, for example. And there are also the guys from Linux Foundation doing very good stuff to do open containers, to make the standard for these, as standards is super important in that case, because we couldn't use even containers without any standards. So just imagine we have different standards for containers. That would be something not very good for our application, to make them adopt them for each cloud, for each specific implementation. And now when we have approximately somehow a standard, we can do some things actually using their stuff that was done by others. So it's also about open source, to do common standards.
Yeah, so I think Docker added a few things, right? So Docker kind of first of all, they popularized containers.
Yeah, right, definitely.
That was a really good thing, because they made the tools that made containers easier to use. And the other thing that you just mentioned about reusing, the other thing what happens is that Docker created what they call Docker Hub, that allows you to upload your containers to the cloud.
Yeah,
and then everyone else could actually use that containers and download and use those containers. So actually, they created also the means for people to share the containers, right?
Yeah, Docker Hub, but I wouldn't actually compare Docker Hub as GitHub, so it's not so free as we have GitHub. But anyway, it's step number one. Right. Definitely, we need something more open to the community. Something like, I don't know, something like Wikipedia. So something that is not as fully commercial as Docker are. But anyway, it's good first starting point. So just to start something with.
Yes.
Sorry. Oh, our good friend Otavio is also here. She's playing Minecraft.
Yes.
So say hi to Otavio.
Yeah, so just
say hi to our.
Let me move real quick here. So Otavio's right here. Otavio's here in the corner. Say hello, Otavio.
Hello, everyone.
So what are you doing right there, Otavio?
I'm playing Minecraft.
Okay, so
OpenJDK in Java 9.
All right, so yeah, so Minecraft is a Java application. So Otavio is playing Minecraft with OpenJDK, Java 9. Now,
actually, I died.
There is a reason why Otavio is playing Minecraft, right? Can you send the guys the link to the Minecraft server?
Yeah. Just a second. I will send you a
So
link.
so yes. Kevin says hi, Otavio.
Hello, Kevin.
So Max has another question here about security. I'm gonna get to that question in a minute, but first of all, why just let me just kind of while Ihor here gets the URL for us, let me just kind of tell you we are playing here Minecraft because there is a reason for it. We're gonna try to make like the cool demonstration about how containers can change our ideas on how we do computing, and to do that we're gonna do a Minecraft demonstration. Oops, no, that's not what I wanted. Oh, right here, right? So we're gonna do a Minecraft demonstration. So I'm gonna type here in the chat. If you guys have Minecraft installed on your computer and you want to
HTTP, no HTTP.
yes, HTTP, right?
No,
Oh no, HTTP. Okay,
no
so
HTTP,
I'm sorry, I got wrong.
With one guy.
All right, okay, so this forget the HTTP thing. Don't click on that link. That link doesn't go anywhere. So I'm just sent you the server name and port. So if you have a Minecraft client running on your computer, you can connect to that particular server, and you're gonna be on the same server that Otavio is playing Minecraft, right? So if you're a Minecraft user and you have Minecraft installed on your computer, you can just click there. If not, maybe you can download from somewhere the client. Yeah,
yes.
we're not.
Yeah, we can download it. It's so easy. Actually, it's my first time that I play Minecraft.
I know, but then you have to download the client and everything for Minecraft, right? So I'm not gonna go into this. The whole idea of this here is not telling you how to run Minecraft, but you know, if you can download the Minecraft client from the internet and then put that server and that port right there, and you're gonna connect to our Minecraft server that we are running in the cloud right now, right?
Right.
We are running
Inside container even.
inside a container. So we're gonna get back to this. I'm just giving you some hints so you can start doing this and start playing and everything. But we're gonna get back to this URL in a minute. But now, Ihor, Max here saying that he's concerned that if he's concerned about security, he would try to separate things physically and not only virtually. So I mean, are containers like really secure that even if I run two things in the same computer, they're not gonna interfere with each other? I mean, it's because Max doesn't believe in this. It looks like, right? You know, he will separate physically, right? He doesn't want to have anything with. So how about this? You know, should
actually people who are working on containers, they said that containers are not for data. Actually, primary target containers are for application.
Right.
And actually, if you need to protect your data,
mm-hmm.
there are many different ways how to do this using encrypting. Using
I know this, but what he's talking about is that
Yeah.
you know, he's gonna have two applications and he's
Yeah.
worried about security.
Okay.
So he's not going to run two applications on the same server. He's going to run in two separate servers, right? But if it's two containers running the same server, you know, how secure is this?
there were some issues related to, for example, users that one user can access data from another users, or it's all about namespaces. So all the isolation is done by namespaces, and namespaces are doing isolation for network, for user, for file system, for actually
for everything.
For
right?
everything. So it's hard to say how reliable they are. I don't think that they will be more reliable if you just if you will run it at a physically different server, it will cost you much. So it's not efficient way how to spare your resources.
Right.
And I don't know, the more you can try virtual machine, you can take physical server, put virtual machine in that, and then put containers inside this virtual machine. But I don't know if that works of this, because it's normal way to run. We know that issues they occur every day, and they are fixing every day. And CVE vulnerabilities are usual thing for us, and we used to this. What guys do about this? So as for applications, Docker are always packing some popular stuff, updating, maintaining it to have more recent version of applications available on a hub. But it's not a way how to fix the issues on a Docker itself and containers isolation itself.
Right,
So
but you know, but you guys been running containers for some time.
Yeah.
So And there's one thing that you guys do is that you kind of run containers on bare metal, like on top of the OS below. Is this more secure, less secure?
If we're not running on virtual machine,
Yes, if you're running directly on the hardware.
There are some things so that prevent us of actually more density will be if you will run your containers directly on bare metal. But there are some things related, for example, to live migration. So there are some conditions that you have to have same CPU set on all the nodes. So the hardware should be very similar for these containers to make everything work. And as far as in real world, it's a bit hard to have all the hardware similar, as there one hardware is operating, another hardware is just left in the same. So it's a good thing to have virtual machine on top of bare metal, and then containers inside virtual machine.
Okay, all right.
And if you can divide your application just to be located in different containers, but also on different virtual machines, in your case, that will be maybe the best approach.
All right. So yeah, so basically we got this little discussion going on here. So Kevin says that your data is inside your memory as well, and then Max says, exactly, in security aside, you're still sharing resources. So the whole idea of the containers is actually to be a better way to share resources, right?
To share resources and to deliver applications. So actually, one of the important things to deliver application. So it's easy to deliver. For example, you have your application, you need to configure this application on the side of your customer, and you can spend a day to have all the dependencies, all the stuff, just to make it work the same way as it's working on your dev or stage environment. So it will take time. So in that case, you can deliver your application via container very, very easily. So you just give him, for example, a link to a Docker Hub, or for example, if it's open container, you give him a link to a file with some file system, which is star file. So it's easy way to deliver your applications.
Right.
So if you have hundreds of customers, you don't have to hire a huge amount of DevOps guys just to configure everything on your customer side. And again, if you have another version of your application, you need to do upgrade, and upgrade it again, waste of time. So delivery via container is seamless and more straightforward. So that's something you should not care about dependency and how to run this on your customer side. So delivery is also a point for containers. Deliver your application, yeah.
Okay, that's pretty cool. So basically, so I think from this we get that the best thing about containers is the encapsulation that it does, like package the whole application, all the dependency, everything together in one nice package that's not too big, right? So it's just only the thing the application needs. So it's light, you can move it around, and you can do things. Now, one thing, every time we talk about moving things around. So first of all, let me say, if you guys want to tell us where you're from, I know guys, Kevin, Max, have been around here for a while. But if you want to tell us where you're from, just so, because one interesting thing is that Ihor is actually from Ukraine, right?
Yes, right. I'm Ukrainian.
Yes. So we got again, all this, Ukrainians, Brazilians, and people from all over the world. We are here in Spain.
Yeah. We were singing good songs yesterday on different languages. So I was trying to sing songs in Portuguese. Bruno was trying to sing some songs in Ukrainian. So we did.
Yes.
we had a lot of fun yesterday.
Yeah. So Kevin is in Germany, in Bochum, and he's at work right now. So So Kevin, I'm sorry that we got the wrong time today. So I hope we didn't mess up your work. The whole idea is that we are this whole group of developers from all over the world. We are kind of getting together to improve our own careers, and even our singing careers, I guess. Like yesterday was singing time.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So actually, let me tell you guys one thing. Yesterday, we not only did singing, but let me just point this really quick. Here we have this pretty amazing barbecue place, right? So that barbecue place yesterday was completely full of meat, and we also had a nice barbecue here. So just saying, there's some advantages when you travel around the world, right? And you meeting nice people in their own houses, right? it's very hard to do a barbecue inside a hotel. So it's really nice. So thanks, Ihor, for receiving us here in your house, man. Okay, so let's go back to containers now. Ihor, can you show us a little bit? So okay, before you show, we talk about containers. Containers are a way to package the application, right?
Right.
Now, what is for you to actually run the containers? What do you need, right? You know, a lot of people talk about orchestration tools for containers. So what are those orchestration tools?
Orchestration tools allows to manage containers. For example, you can program the cloud, so you can just set the behavior how your application will be provisioned and how they will be served, maintained. So you can spin up your application, you can connect application between each other, you can migrate them from one physical place to another place. If it's a hybrid cloud, you can you can configure a set of rules by which these applications will have its own life cycle. So they can be destroyed by your schedules and can be created by your schedules and can do some maintenance, automatic maintenance. So orchestration is something like a clown in doing like a jogging.
Oh, okay. So the orchestration is the guy juggling all the containers,
yeah,
right? So we are in another analogy here, right? So if your containers are little balls, the orchestration is the juggling guy.
Something like that.
Okay. All right. Cool. All right. So Dave says that he's from London. He's at work. Kevin says that this is work, right? Because he's using containers at work. So by discussing containers here is also work, right? That's good. That's really good. That's one of the things that we can actually do. It's so nice that we can have like a discussion like this, because it's not only about watching, right? You know, it's good that we can participate and we can share knowledge from all over the place. So thanks a lot, Kevin. Thanks, Dave. Thanks, Max. Thanks, thanks, Cesar is right also here. Thanks, everyone. Now, Ihor, so when you have the orchestration tools, it makes it a lot easier for us to actually kind of manage the containers. Can you actually give us an idea of an orchestration tool? Do you have something that we can show there for us? Like a tool that you can use, like start, stop the containers. Can you show this quickly?
Yeah, sure. We can try to switch to my computer. I will show you.
Yeah, so we're gonna switch real quick here to Ihor's computer, and hopefully you guys can see this. And so he's gonna show us a little bit of an orchestration tool. Now, this is just an example of orchestration tool.
Yeah,
right?
there's one of many, but you actually just to have imagination how that can work. So, for example, I need to provision Tomcat, and I just choose a stack. So everything is about containers. So we set amount of nodes we need to provision.
Okay, wait. Don't go so fast because I'm I was reading here. So Ricardo says hello from Cambridge, and so basically come back here. So you're creating a Java application.
Yeah.
Right. So you're using Tomcat right there, and then what basically you're doing here is that you are creating several nodes of Tomcat.
Yeah, so we call it an environment. So a set of nodes. So your application usually is not just a web server or just a balancer or just a database. So application is usually a set of
services, right?
Of services, yeah. That's a set of services, and if you need to spin up these services need to be connected somehow.
Right.
So orchestration software basically what it can do. It can connect, for example, compute layer nodes between each other. It can set load balancer to be in front of this stuff, or even connect a database to your application, so you have out of the box your application running.
Right. So basically everything that you're gonna shoot, each one that you're gonna do this is gonna be a container. So can we add like a database to this?
Let's add the database. What database do you prefer?
That's MariaDB, fine. Yes. Okay.
MariaDB is fine. We actually had Monty here couple of days ago.
Yes, we interviewed Monty on the tour. Yes.
Yeah, you might seen him. Bruno did an interview a few days ago on the Jay on the Beach show. So Monty is the guy who created MariaDB, actually MySQL itself. So we added database layer. We can add some NoSQL databases.
Yeah. So we have Otavio here. Can you choose Cassandra, because Otavio is a committer of Cassandra?
We can choose Cassandra.
That's Cassandra, right? So that's the Cassandra database right there. Okay. So basically, you're getting all those services. Each one of them are running inside a container. So if you had a virtual machine, what you'd be doing is that you'd be installing those applications, each one, I mean, several of those applications, the same virtual machine, or each one is their own virtual machine. But since they are containers, we're just kind of putting the application inside a container. We're just starting the container, and that's it, right?
Yeah, so we deliver application through the container, and everything is out of the box working. So
Right.
no need to install anything. So it's just installation is just a click.
Now, one thing is that you said that you're kind of creating several nodes. If I have my application, I put my application inside a virtual machine, and I put like 2 applications in the same virtual machine, it's really hard for me to scale one of those applications, right?
Yeah,
But with containers, I can just kind of choose then and scale it to more nodes.
a cool thing about containers is scaling, right, Bruno? So I forgot to mention this. So it's hard to scale anything that is locked by your actually hardware or virtual machine. And containers, as far as a absolutely abstract thing, they can be scaled. So you can add hardware to your cluster on fly. You can remove your hardware if it's not needed anymore. And anyway, you can scale in, scale down. Actually, it can be scaled as vertically as horizontally. So vertically, container can consume only resources that actually allowed. So you can scale, for example, your memory vertically. Does mean that you can increase the amount of memory for your application on fly. You can decrease if you need it. And horizontal scaling is a scaling in amount of containers. So basically, the most good way is to scale both horizontally and vertically.
Okay. So can you actually do both right there?
Yeah.
How are you going to do this? Tell us.
I can just scroll this stuff, and that increase amount of available resources inside each container in a layer.
Okay.
And by clicking this, for example, I can specify amount of nodes in a cluster.
Okay, that looks pretty interesting. Now, before we kind of run out of time here, because we only have about 20 more minutes. So Dave says that he's currently using Docker containers managed by Kubernetes, right? So,
okay.
So Kubernetes is, what's Kubernetes? It's another orchestration
tool. Orchestration tool made by Google. And they're actually the Red Hat guys are also working on this. So our good friend Edson was talking about
Edson talk a little bit about that. So now he says that he's using Docker containers. Can you actually do Docker containers right there?
Yeah. So it's also connected to a Docker hub. So you can use private registry for this. And let's show you what is the most popular. So who asked the question?
Dave. So Dave, what you're running Docker and in Kubernetes? What kind of application are you running in? Can you just kind of give us like Tomcat or which database you're running, just so you can search here for a Docker image here. But while Dave is answering this to us, let me tell you that I'm one of the things that I like to run. I'm a Glassfish guy, so I'm running a Glassfish application server. Can you put Glassfish there? And all right, so Glassfish. So it's going to search for a Glassfish server. And all right, so so the first one, so there's Glassfish. It's like the first one is like Docker's official Glassfish image, but the second one is Oracle's. Let's Glassfish comes from Oracle. Maybe we should just use Oracle, right?
Let's try Oracle.
Yes, I should. Yes, okay. Let's choose Oracle. So so we're gonna add Glassfish to our environment. So Kevin says, does JLS work with private Docker repositories with self-signed certificates?
Yeah. So the one thing we added, so we trust all the repositories which user add. So self-signed certificates will also work for this.
Okay, that's pretty cool. Would you run multiple applications inside one Glassfish? So no, that depends. When you're doing the containers, for example, it would be best if you run just one application inside each container, just because it's easier for you to scale things to one thing. But sometimes you might want to run maybe if you have like several different services that you want to scale together, for example, you could actually run more than one application side Glassfish. And if the only thing is that when you replicate that or when you scale that, you're going to scale everyone together, right? So right now, for example, when you run virtual machines, we run more than one application side Glassfish. But when you're running on containers, the whole idea is just kind of run one application side inside each Glassfish, because it makes it a lot easier for us to move things around.
Anyway, if you wish to scale something, you can create another layer with your another service and scale these two services, actually not simultaneously but individually, basic on its own rules. So that's kind of things that are also provided by orchestration software. So you set a rule how to scale your layer. So for example, you have a layer of database servers, and you have a special set of rules how to scale these servers. For example, if load is higher than this, or RAM consumed is higher than this, or my network is loaded higher than this, you should add only one node or two nodes at a time. So you set rules, because rules for scaling application servers and database servers can be different. So perhaps sometimes it can be not a good idea to install everything in one container and scale all the services together, because they have different scaling rules.
Yeah, I think the cool thing about containers is that, you know, once you encapsulate, you have that one piece of thing, right, that you can handle it separately. The more you kind of start getting things together, then you have to do the whole thing with everyone, right? So that's why containers are so good for microservice, for example, because each container can run one microservice, so you can easily scale or multiply that one microservice. So the more independent it is, the better, right? So if you have like two applications that are very dependent to each other, it could work, but you know, usually we are separated. But okay, so Dave says that he uses mostly Tomcat, and some servers use Node.js. So actually, you know, let's add Tomcats. Can we add, oh, we already did add Glassfish there, but we could actually add Tomcat.
So we can add Tomcat, Node.js, or everything.
All right, so you can do all kinds of mix and match.
Yeah, let's do this. Let's do
what?
I mean, Node.js. Let's create a couple of containers. So let's create actually.
Oh, yeah, because
we also everything about talking, but we did not create it yet.
All right, so create something, right? Okay, go ahead.
So we need to name it somehow.
Yes, name it somehow so people can access from where they are.
Let's say somehow.
Somehow. All right. So somehow.demo.jls.com, right?
Sounds good.
Yes. Okay. So we're gonna create it now. I'm gonna type it here, so you can somehow.demo.jelastic.net. No, not .net, .com, right? .com.
Yeah.
All right. So you know, eventually it's deploying the containers right now. So in a minute it's gonna be available. And then you can just click that link right there. It's not available right now. I don't think
not so hard times for ops guys who just had to provision this manually many years ago. So life becomes easier for them.
Right. Yeah. So Kevin asks that if for me what seems to be the best benefit to using containers is that they force you to have architecture as a code. Do you agree with that? I mean, because now instead of you kind of go by hand, install this, install that, you kind of define your whole containers as JSON files or whatever which one uses, right?
So the concept programming the cloud is actually like by operating more huger objects. So not just like classes we used to operate in Java. So it's by operating the whole clusters. So you operate containers like objects. So very similar to object-oriented paradigm we have in Java. So very similar. But you are just operating more higher level objects. So it's a kind of programming the cloud.
Okay, that sounds cool. So actually I already clicked it here on the somehow.demo.jls.com, and you know, I get like a welcome to web server. That's like
it's a Node.js server. So
it's just a Node.js server, right? Just so you guys see that we just started a container. We didn't have any application deployed to it, but as you saw, it's really easy for you to just kind of create your infrastructure, right?
Yeah, so it's not more than just a few clicks, and even more so if you're not like mouse clicking solutions expert, MSSE.
No. Okay, but now what Kevin says here, yes, Kevin, that's a cool analogy. Programming the cloud. That's pretty cool. All right.
Thank you, Kevin.
So now Kevin says that's forced to have architecture as code, right? But we went and clicking on things, right? You know, can you just kind of program this thing? Can you just kind of do like a file or something, or like command line?
So that's So this approach is mostly for those guys who are just not so diving so deep into technology, because those ones who are doing massive deployments of clusters, they're not clicking anything, because it's a next level of experience. So guys are writing manifests using JSON, or they're just even scripting everything with a special scripting languages. So we can in our platform, for example, you can use Java, JavaScript, you can use Python, PHP for scripting everything this. So even you can create environment by writing a short code in Java.
So your Java application could start all kinds of environments.
Yeah. So your actually application can be written absolutely on Java, but in fact it will operate real object, so real more higher level object.
That's pretty cool. All right. So now one of the things that Otavio is playing Minecraft. I'm not sure if you guys had the time to download the Minecraft client and put the server right there. But you know what we're gonna do now. If you did, it's gonna be fun, because that means we're gonna connect to a Mine server client server right now, and we're gonna see you there. But basically, one thing that we did here is that we put a Mine server, a Minecraft server online running inside of Jelastic. Can you show it right there? Can you show the Minecraft server right there?
Yeah.
Where's the Minecraft server?
It's not on Amazon, so we are running it on Amazon.
Yes,
inside the container.
Can you zoom a little bit so people can see? Just kind of control here, right? Oh no, it didn't work. Okay, all right.
So let me do this.
Zoom in a little bit. Or yes. No, done so much. Okay. All right.
It's okay.
Okay.
So you can see the Minecraft server is running on top of Amazon.
All right. So basically what we have here is a Minecraft server. We have the environment with one server that's a Minecraft server, right?
Right. Absolutely. Nothing more.
So it's one container.
It's one container.
Right. And so you can just put any kind of application inside a container. Then it doesn't need to be a web server.
Yeah.
Okay. Now what are we gonna do with this Minecraft server? Actually, Otavio is playing Minecraft, right? Are you playing Minecraft also here?
Yeah, I also have Minecraft here.
Okay.
So I'm just here. You can see it.
Yeah, I guess so. Yes, you can see it. It's just kind of slow to refresh here, right? Yes. Okay. We can see Minecraft. So actually, that's gonna be the refresh rate's gonna be kind of crazy for you to see this live, but you know. So basically, you're walking around Minecraft. Don't go to any place dark. Go to places that a little lighter. Yes, so people can actually see. Oh yes. Okay. So yeah. So you're playing Minecraft here. It's probably a little slow over the network for guys to see it. Right. So is Otavio there somewhere? Where are you, Otavio, in this word?
I have no idea.
so Otavio is running around this word somewhere. Maybe we should. He's going to the beach.
Let's find the beach.
Yeah, we're very far away from the beach here. Okay, so now what are we gonna do? Okay, wait. Why you guys are going to the beach? What are we gonna do with this while you guys playing?
Meanwhile we were playing, we can move this server. Actually, by the way, it seems I found Otavio.
Oh, that's Otavio right there.
It's Ruslan.
Oh, that's Ruslan. Ruslan is playing around with us. So
yeah, CEO of Jelastic is playing Minecraft as well.
Yes. Okay. That's pretty cool.
That was Ruslan. That wasn't Otavio. Where are you? So while we were playing,
Hey, Ruslan, nice to see you there. Yes. Hello. All right. So Ruslan, Ruslan just joined us here. I'm just gonna put this say, yeah. So Ruslan just joined us here to play Minecraft also. That's so cool. All right. Okay. So so it's pretty cool. We have the CTO of Minecraft and the CEO, the CTO of Jelastic and the CEO of Jelastic playing Minecraft here by the beach in near Malaga, Spain. I mean, that's kind of, oh man, I love Java. That's all I can say. Okay, so all right, so we are here. We see the beach down there.
Yeah.
Actually, there's a different beach. We see the beach right there live, and then the beach right there in the. Okay, so. Now, what are we gonna do while we are playing? What are we gonna do with this container?
We found that we have actually a leak of resources on Amazon, and now we need to move our container game. to another place where we have more resources available, right?
All right. So where are we going to
the
move
thing
it
is,
to?
we're not gonna interrupt the game because the game is so cool. So it's not a good idea just to interrupt the game and then reconnect again and they just restore the server.
Yeah, I know.
We'll do the online migration.
Yeah, we see this here when we're doing the chat here, and sometimes we need to shut down the chat. A lot of people don't come back to the next discussion, right? So we don't want to shut this down. We just want to migrate this container to a new server, to another server, and we're just gonna do this. Oh, it's becoming dark. Okay, so
let's migrate.
So let's migrate before the night gets in. So what we're gonna do now? We're gonna click here, and we're gonna migrate this thing to another server. To Azure. So we're gonna migrate not to another server, but to another cloud.
To another cloud, absolutely right.
Right. Okay. So
to another server.
All right. So you're gonna migrate our container to another server, to another cloud. So can you come back to the game to play?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, okay.
Ruslan is also here as well. Here's Otavio, it seems.
Oh, hey, Otavio.
Otavio, hello.
All right. So we see Otavio. We see Ruslan.
It's getting dark.
It's getting dark. Unfortunately, it's getting dark here in this world.
But the game is still out.
Yes. All right. So we're now playing. We're moving things around, and basically what's going on right now is that don't disappear. So the servers are being migrated to a different cloud. To a different cloud, right? And then we just kind of keep playing. Come on, there's no lights here. Can any one of you turn a light on?
I don't know how.
Just create some fire. Can you create some fire? Oh, you have to mine it for the okay. But anyway,
so we have bad Minecraft players.
You're bad Minecraft players. Okay, all right. So that was the night came too short. Anyway. So is the migration done yet?
Let me check.
Let me see.
No, it's still in progress.
It's still in progress. So basically, as you can see, right in the middle here says migrating.
Yeah.
Basically, what we're doing right now is that we are on the server side.
It's done.
Oh, so the migration is done, right? Okay. So
we are now on Azure.
So now we're running on Azure. So go back.
The game is still here.
Oh, so I see Ruslan
here. We see Ruslan. We see
Otavio, and it's still dark. Right?
It's still dark.
Okay.
But as you can see, the game still goes. So we just
yes. Okay. So basically, that's so basically what happened was that we migrated this server live from one cloud to the next cloud. This whole analogy that Kevin liked, having the OO analogy. Basically, we're moving objects between servers, and the whole thing just kind of keeps running, keeps working. It could be a microservice that you migrate from place to another. And all the other microservices just keep running, right?
It's even more easier for microservices, just for usual, for example, web services to be migrated than for the game. So game is not the easiest example, but with web services, it's even easier.
Right.
So it's super comfortable to move services like just between the servers with a click. So that's future. We should use this. So.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. And the good thing about once you are able to migrate your servers, like with one click like this, or this could be scripted too, right?
Yes, sure. We can even we had an idea to script all this stuff. That's just our website to be migrated from one place to another place each night.
Okay, all right, just for the fun of it, right?
Just for the fun, sure, because we can.
Yes. Okay. So basically, since you're migrating, you can script this. And this completely changes the way you think about servers, right?
Right.
Because now you don't have to stop your service to so basically that means that when your server needs to grow to a larger server, for example, you can just migrate your containers to a larger server without stopping them. If your server has any kind of problem, you can just migrate it to another server without stopping, no downtime. If we're doing, for example, things like putting things in production, we can just kind of migrate a container from quality assurance into production directly, for example.
Absolutely right.
So what other things? I mean, this completely this changed a little bit about how we would. So we have much less downtime with this.
Actually, yes, we have less downtime. We can provision containers directly in another place than we are going to host it. So we can actually change the pipelines we used to have for delivering projects. So we're doing things in more easiest and more straightforward ways that we used to do for many years before. So we actually unlocked new abilities for us, and it's good.
Okay, That's really cool. So guys, before we wrap up this up, and I'm still gonna ask Ihor here some question about his career, just so we can finish this. But if you had any questions, did you like the school live migration demo? I think that's, for me, this whole notion of live migration helps a lot because once you are able to do things without downtime, it makes a lot more it makes a lot more sense for you to update your application more frequently. You get your code available to your end users faster, just because you can do things without downtime. I think that's really a cool idea.
Agree.
Right? Agree? Okay, guys. So now let me kind of completely switch gears here. You're working on this really cool technology. You guys are actually building the servers behind this whole thing, right? You're building Jelask itself, right? So how it is to work on a company? You're still a startup, but you have customers all over the world. How it is to work on a company that has to be really innovative, that has to be releasing versions very frequently.
It's super hard, but we were lucky for all these years because we always were able to predict all the steps. So we found after many actually decisions we did for many years, for these last years, they were just a result of a luck, because we actually did a bet on containers, and we found that containers are very good. That was a good decision that time, because many guys who were actually using virtual machines, they changed their architecture for a couple of times, and we actually did a good decision with the team, with the place where we started. So when we started, it was like a Facebook house near the river in Ukraine. So very similar. We have this, but in Ukraine. So that time we were actually sitting and coding the whole days and the whole nights. So we were working too hard, because actually we had to compete with big guys,
right,
who were at that time Amazon, Google. So it was super hard with a small team, but that team was very good team. That team actually was super dedicated to the project. So they did a lot of job. It's actually we spent days and nights together just to thinking, drawing on a board, doing some super cool things. And after some time, we found that other big guys, they're taking an example from us. So they're trying to repeat some steps. So they're trying to do similar things. They're trying to do design similar like we did. So for some point, we were actually lucky, because we did right decisions in the right direction that time. I don't know, maybe I think that's luck.
Okay. All right. So just tell you that I think you're dying over there.
Yeah, almost.
I think Otav is killing you or something. Yes, I don't know. But anyway, so now let's talk a little bit about career. You are a developer, but you're telling me that you started as a sysadmin,
yes,
right? And so do you think that's for developers, it is important that they have like a little bit of knowledge of sysadmin? Because you move it from, because you're doing sysadmin and development, you have a better knowledge of all other things, right? I mean, you have better understanding of the architecture. Do you think every developer needs to learn a little bit of sysadmin things?
Actually, at least to have understanding how things works, that should be, because that won't be spare. So knowledge can't be spare at all. So even have good to have some knowledge on medicine, on building, on everything. So it will be plus for you, definitely. Any kind of direction that is interesting for you, that's good to be also know some things about this direction. So it's good to have. It's not mandatory. We can live without this. We can actually write in a code without knowing something, but it's always good to be wide known, not wide known, but how to say correctly, it's to know
a little bit of lots of different
things. Right.
Yeah. No problem. Now let me ask you one thing. I think that I left kind of this question to the end, but Max asked us, we've been here during this whole tour telling people that they should learn about containers, because containers are important for their careers and everything. But Max kind of went the other way. He said, can you tell us some bad things about containers? what are the problems about containers, because we can't really go into this new technology without knowing that there are some drawbacks, right?
Okay, so containers are designed for specific operating systems. So Windows containers are working only for Windows. Linux containers are working only for Linux. So you cannot mix your application running for Windows, for Linux, for FreeBSD, or for Solaris inside one container. So that will not work. Then if you need to run a set of applications that requires different kernels, that will be also issue as well, because container is running application. Actually, many copies of your application will be using the same kernel, and this kernel will be from the inside the container the same for all the applications. So if you need some exotic stuff for your application, so to have some service to be running on FreeBSD, and another service will need to have another services will need to have different kernels, that will be an issue. An issue. So, and then what else about the bad things? Bad things about container? I don't know. You know that.
Well,
the worst thing is if you need to have exotic operating systems and an exotic environment. But if you don't need, and it's most of cases, containers will work for you.
Okay, so so how about people say things like, oh, data heavy applications should not be running containers. I mean, applications that have lots of IO shouldn't be running containers. Is that true or not?
No, we actually running data inside container as well. So we have data containers, specifically optimized containers for data. And if this container is optimized just to hold data, it's absolutely okay to be container as well. So data container can be. It is. So we are using the data inside container, and it's okay. It's absolutely normal approach. So the overhead which you have will not be so big. So it will not so different from the situation if you will be running your data storage directly on virtual machine or some other way. So container is just a way how to like an interface. So if everything if your application are running actually on clear containers, it's not a bad thing to use one of containers just for the data and connect data there somehow, and then this connected container can share this data over NFS or any other storage file system protocol via network. So it's okay. It's okay to hold data inside a container.
Okay, that's pretty cool. So let me Max, let me tell you a few things that I think are kind of complicated about containers. First of all, it changes a little bit the way you think about your application, because now you have to encapsulate things inside the container and things like that. So you have to you can't just you can get some type of application you can just kind of put inside the container and run it, but usually you have to rethink a little bit, and that's sometimes might be something that you're not willing to do. For example, the other thing is that you have to learn other tools, right? How to handle the containers, or the orchestration tools that we're talking about. You have to learn all of that. Sometimes I think that's just more. It's not like a disadvantage of containers. It's more like it is something that we got to learn to start using. And so the fastest that we can learn to start using this, the better it's going to be for our careers later on, right? Now, there's other thing that I've seen inside customers is that a lot of times you come with the idea of the containers and say, oh, I'm going to encapsulate my application inside the container. I'm going to do everything inside the container. So Tools Cloud, the company that I run, everything that we do are inside containers. Now, sometimes we get to the customer and say, okay, so we have this set of containers for you to run. And they say, we don't know how to run containers. And then like you kind of get stuck, right? Because they want you just to go there and install everything in Linux, but you say, no, but I'm going to run containers here. And so there's some discussions still because it's kind of somewhat new for a lot of people. There's still some evangelizing to do to get people to start adopting it. So some of the things.
But it's much better to waste some time right now just to understand how this works.
Yeah.
And then to save much time in future,
I totally agree.
by maintaining all that stuff that you had to install manually. So it's very worst of actually investment, time investment, very good time investment.
Yes, it is a very good investment. I think that we all should learn about containers right now. So Kevin says, what do you guys think about running your internal tools with containers, Docker, like ticket systems, build servers, wiki, and so on? That is a really good question, Kevin, because let me tell you what, I'm gonna ask him this question, because let me tell you what, when I start using Elastic, for me, like this this big thing and everything, and then I got some lessons from those guys. They're showing the backend, how the backend works. And now, Ihor, let me ask you, how does the Elastic server actually runs?
They run inside the containers. So the whole infrastructure, actually infrastructure that is managing the containers. So the whole platform is running inside the containers. So it is divided into services, microservices, and each service is running inside its own container. So we are running inside container.
Right. So basically, when we access the container registry right there, the container registry is a container. When we access the billing system is a container.
Yeah.
And everything
is a container. So everything, a monitoring system, billing system, provisioning system, high-level core that is responsible for services, everything inside the container. So load balancers, other cluster things, all the scheduler components. So everything is about containers. So everything is using containers and was using this from very beginning.
Yeah. So Kevin, yes, I'll tell you what, everything today, everything that we can, we're still, we had other things running before we start moving into containers, but today we're moving everything that we can into containers, and it makes a whole lot easier to admin and to move those things around, especially those kind of, you talk about ticket system, for example. It's a lot easier for you to upgrade your ticket system, or for you to increase the system for more users. For example, if you're running inside the containers, we actually run Redmine as a ticket system. So we run our Redmine inside containers. You also said build servers, for example.
I can show one.
So actually, yes. Can you go real quick there?
Yeah.
So actually, it's interesting that.
So build server can be a part of your environment and also can be a container.
It's actually Java, right?
Yeah, Java.
So for example, you have on the Java side here. I'm not sure if you can see right there, but just gonna put the mouse. You see that they have like this special container for to be a build container. So you can actually do this. And Kevin says we're starting to migrate our internal systems to Docker as well. TeamCity, Jira, and so on. But I'm still afraid that I might run into problems in the future. I don't know why I feel this way. I simply feel it's too good to be true. So yes, so containers have these issues, but you're probably doing this with virtual machines, and containers is the next step for virtual machines. So it's not a bad idea for you to start doing this.
And why do you afraid this? So can you say about your actually doubts? So what do you think is bad about? So what make you afraid to run everything inside container?
Yeah. So Kevin, if you can tell us what you make you afraid, we're gonna try to maybe easy up a little bit of your fears. But let me tell you one thing, like a very generic answer to your fears, Kevin, because one of the things that there's a lot of new technology that we're afraid of, that we don't know if that's the best thing, and then so that's what I think the coolest way for us to handle that is that instead of saying like a big bang thing, we're gonna change everything today, right? It starts small. It starts today with some tools running in your laptop. Get some things. Oh yes, thanks. So get some things, test it out with a couple of things. Start small, right? So we have customers, for example, that they're not so sure if they should start moving into containers for production. So they run their development environments running on containers. They run their build servers, their ticket system. They actually do have customers running all of those things inside containers. So we have customers running this inside containers in their own data center. We have customers running these inside containers in our Elastic cluster, for example. So we're running all of our development tools on containers. So you can start small, and then eventually you kind of move out. When you get more confidence, you kind of move out to other things, right? So I think this is true for everything, right? You don't start your like a huge project in a new language that you don't know, right? You start small projects. You don't start a huge project using a database that you don't know, right? You start small projects. The same thing with containers. So Kevin says, not a rational fear, just a bit of afraid to fall into a hype right now, and then there might be a morning after yet to come, right? But it's cool to hear about others using the tools in a more mature way already. Yes. So I think containers. So you've been using containers since 2011, right? Right. And so you've been running containers for several years now. And you are running like big installation, right? Because that's interesting, Kevin, because Jalaska, you're running all these inside containers, and in some you support host providers.
Yes.
And some of those host providers have like hundreds and hundreds, maybe thousands of containers running, right?
Tens, thousands of containers.
Tens of thousands of containers. So it's interesting that so the main customer for Jelastic is a host provider that provides public cloud to people. So some of those host providers are running tens of thousands of containers daily.
Yeah, so they are running platform as a service, and people who are using platform as a service, some of them doesn't even know that their applications are already inside container, because container is the most efficient way how to build PaaS, because you need always to scale, you need to provision fastly. So that would be much more harder to use virtual machines for that. So most of PaaS, platform as a service, are working now with containers, and people doesn't even feel this because they're just used to open the dashboard to deploy the application with a click or with the command line client, so that doesn't even know that the application itself inside the container.
Right. Okay, Kevin. So I know that's what other people did doesn't kind of make us irrational fear less irrational, right? But that's part of it. I think that's part of experiments. The cool thing I think that you guys are doing is that you're learning new things, because containers will be a change in our careers. And I think the more we're able to know the problems and the solutions and how it works, the better we're gonna be on our career. So I'm just gonna say that we are like, it's like more than 10 minutes after the time here, and I really like to thank you all for watching. So we are getting to the end of our tour. So today is actually our last full day traveling. Yes, but Otavio's saying that, yeah, I know, Otavio. So today's our last full day here traveling, because tomorrow night, me and Otavio, we travel back to Brazil, and the tour is gonna end. So what we're gonna do tomorrow, me and Otavio, we're gonna run tomorrow our last webinar on the tour. Where we're gonna kind of give a brief overview of everything that we learned. We're gonna talk a little bit about next steps, and we're gonna have our last webinar with you tomorrow, the same time, 2 p.m. Germany time. We're gonna meet here, and maybe not 2 p.m. right, because we got a flight to catch. Yeah, we don't know. We might be a little bit earlier, because we have a flight to catch, and our flight is at 5. So we got to be at the airport by 3. So that means we really don't have. So maybe what we're going to do is that maybe we're going to go to the airport, and then we do the webinar for that. We don't know yet, right? But tomorrow we're going to run our last webinar. And I'd like to thank you all for being here with us. That's been really super, super cool. You got, your questions are amazing. And I love the fact that we are here kind of bringing knowledge, people like Ihor and so many others that we met here, directly to you, so you can actually reach out and pick the brains of those cool people. Because I know, we have fear to learn new technology, but if we can talk with the people that are actually creating this technology, I think it helps us a lot, right?
Yeah. Thank you, Bruno. Thank you, Otavio. And it was glad to be a part of your trip. So yeah. Please come to Malaga, and I hope next time we will do some more. So we will have some more news for you and some more technology show.
That's pretty cool.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Ihor.
Thank you.
And thanks a lot, guys.
Thank you, friends.
Thanks. I'll see you around. And let me just tell you one thing. This trip has been really cool, because we're talking all those people, but we've been talking to so many cool developers that we're gonna do something larger, right? We're gonna get all of those content, all this content, and in a lot of new content, a lot of stuff, and we're gonna put everything available for you. Just wait for us. You're gonna get some cool information from us in the next few days.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Thanks, guys.
Good luck.
Oh, one last
Yeah,
thing I forgot. All right. So you're here watching us. What we're gonna do is, if you want to learn a little bit about containers, there's a lot of containers providers out there. But what we're gonna do is that we're gonna get Gelastic and their partners, right? Especially Dogado. Dogado is a partner in Germany. Dogado has agreed to send to every one of you that's watching us 150 euros. 150 euros for you to try out containers so you can experiment with those cool things, right? So we're gonna send this through email for you pretty soon now, so you can have access to that. Okay.
Sure.
All right.
Yes.
Okay. Thanks, guys.
Thanks for watching us.
Thanks
Good
a
luck.
lot. I'm stopping here. See you.